So what you guys are seeing on the screen right here is going to change the WNBA draft. And it's going to change everything about it. I'm telling you guys, we are now at a stage where the draft looked like it was going to be AZ Fudd. And now I'm thinking it's looking like Awafam. I'm thinking it's looking like Awafam. Because this is an article from W Insider. How Dallas Wings are navigating an offseason with more questions than answers. Obviously, a lot of quotes from Jose Fernandez. But at the same time, you have got this quote right here. And it is one of those things where Arike has been the best player from the Dallas Wings franchise since when they were the Shock. She's been their best player since they were the Detroit Shock. And I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, they're just going to, get rid of all their best players because we need AZ Fudd to replace Paige. Arike didn't fit with Paige. We're going to get rid of Arike. I'm going to be honest here. This isn't even like a Kelsey Mitchell situation. Arike Ogunbowale got them they had multiple above 500 record seasons with Arike. They had home court advantage twice. I think they made the semifinals twice with Arike. And yes, they did have Satu and Natasha Howard those years. That did help. And yes, they did finish last with Arike. No, the Sparks were last. They finished second last with Arike. But at the same time, Sparks finished last with Arike Hamby. You're not going to be seeing, a playoff, good teams are going to be looking for Arike Hamby. And look, Arike is definitely one of those players that, divides opinions. I always use the phrase with Arike, she does Arike things. And people are like, is that a good or a bad thing? I was like, depends on the day. Depends on the day. She can be the best player in the WNBA. Even if you look at, one of the prime example games for her is the Chicago Sky game last year. When they played the Sky, she was the best player on the floor through 3 quarters. And then all of a sudden, it's she forgot how to play down the stretch. And then there's games where she won them by herself. We saw when she got when her magnet ball was turned on during the All-Star game a couple of years ago. Arike has the ability to be a best player. When Arike is at her best, she's probably the best player in the world. But that being said, it's one of those things with the draft that it just is all about what Jose Fernandez wants. And if you're bringing back Arike, using the number 1 pick on a 24-year-old or a near 24-year-old in AZ Fudd, who will be 24 this year. By the way, AZ Fudd's 4 months younger than Angel Reese. AZ Fudd is old. For a rookie, she is old. She is a month younger than what Paige Bueckers was last year. AZ Fudd is a super senior. And she's not only a super senior, she was old for her class in the first place. She's one of the older players in this draft. And it is one of those things where it's a lot of the players the fans want gone, like Arike, Maisha Hines-Allen. From what we are hearing behind the scenes, even in this article, they were a big reason why the locker room stayed strong. And yeah, I think this changes everything for the draft because they're not going to go for Olivia. Maybe they go for Olivia Miles. Look, maybe they're we need a point guard. For me, it's you need a point guard, but you need the Mario Chalmers point guard. You need a Julie Allemond. You need a you need your point guard that's job is going to just be get the ball to Paige and Arike. Because defensively, I don't know. The worst part is that you would have kind of hoped that a Serena Sundell panned out. And at this stage, I think there is a world where Grace Berger is back as a starting point guard. Purely because Grace Berger has the height that she can guard threes. And her, she is one of the very few players in the WNBA, and I mean this in a positive way, that knows it's not about them. If you watch Grace Berger play for the Dallas Wings, or even for the Fever, all she did was, where's Caitlin? Let me give it to Caitlin. And for Dallas, it's let me give it to Paige. I get the ball, let me give it straight back to Paige. Let's hot potato to Paige. The only thing is that she couldn't hit a shot for India. She couldn't hit a shot for Dallas last year. Like, her percentages were like historically bad. And she did also lead the league in 3-point percentage as a rookie. So, like, to say that she can't shoot, but it's like, I would not be surprised to see them run it back with Grace Berger. And have, like, Grace Berger at the 1, Arike, Paige, and then use some of that money with Grace Berger nearly on a minimum. Use some of that money to sign somebody big. Maybe it's not keeping Maisha Hines-Allen, but it's like, maybe they keep Louisa Geiser-Suter, or they use that pick on Awafam. I also think there is a possibility that we see that pick being used on, like, people call me crazy for this, but I still think there's a chance that we see that pick used on Lauren Betts. Like, because you've got a Wak Coulier who's got the length. Lauren Betts could be a really interesting thing. And if they're trying to win, if they are trying to win, and suddenly it's like, okay, we're running with, let's just get a point guard. A point guard who knows their role. Paige, Arike, Awak, and Betts. Like, that is an interesting team because neither Paige or Arike are slashers. Like, neither of them want to get to the basket. So having Lauren Betts in there isn't the worst thing in the world. It's not like, for example, if you were like the Fever with Lauren Betts when Caitlin needs to kind of get some spacing towards go to the basket. Kelsey is a bit of a slasher. Arike is not really. And Arike does mad shit. Paige will pull up for 3 or for mid nearly every time. So Paige can get away with having a big. So I still, especially with a wax versatility, I'm starting to warm up to the idea of Lauren Betts at 1 to Dallas. Or at least thinking, okay, maybe this is a decent enough fit. Because it would be mad if after all the talk about Lauren Betts, like, people projecting her to go out of the lottery, a poor start to her senior season, if all of a sudden Lauren Betts goes back to the number 1 pick that she was projected at the start of the year. My prediction for the Dallas Wings is, especially if they keep Arike, like, if we hear that Arike has been cored, which apparently is now their main goal, I'm guessing I would say Awa. Because again, Jose Fernandez has taught, like, he's somebody that at the collegiate level loved bringing in players from overseas. Like, these are the type of players, and like, obviously a bit of a Gino, very close with Gino, and you're even seeing it with Gino Oriema. Like, Blanca's the best freshman in the country. They got her in. She came in from overseas. They might have the best freshman in the country next year, the Croatian girl. I don't know that much about her. I just saw her playing in the World Cup qualifiers. She was unbelievable. And like, even with UConn, they're even taking projects from other countries. Like, they took Gandhi Malumamel from Limerick, Ireland. Like, they took her in, who's like a 6'6", 7 foot wingspan athlete who's unbelievably raw. But like, if it all works out, would be an unbelievable pickup. Jaina El Alfi from Egypt, I think. Nika Mule from Croatia. So like, I'm not going to say Lee Edwards from Canada because Canada's Canada. But he has taken players from everywhere. And Jose Fernandez is somebody who, again, is not going to discriminate against a player because they're playing overseas and not playing in college. And that's the thing with Awafam, is that, like, everyone is smart enough to know with Awafam, it's not. And first of all, people are like, oh, nothing that happens now will change their minds. Jose Fernandez shows up to watch Awafam against Spain where she balls out. Like, people don't understand. Her minutes are very, very, they're hit or miss. Like, she doesn't play that many minutes. Why? Because she plays in a system where they run single bigs, and she shared minutes with Meg Gustafson at the international level, and she shared minutes with Kayla Alexander at the club level. And when it's all said and done, like, there are clearly flaws to Awafam, but at 19 doing that, like, she's the age of a college freshman. And I think we can all agree, like, she's better than Jazzy Davidson, she's better than Leah Chavez. Like, she'd be the best freshman in the nation by quite a lot. Like, she turned down UConn. And she would have been, like, her and Blanca would have been the two Like, UConn would have just never lost. If she got to play 3 years with Sarah Strong in college, if she didn't turn down UConn literally would go 4 straight. Her and Sarah Strong, they never lose another game. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. My prediction is I was like 80% on them taking AZ. I am now going to say I'm going to give our fam a 50% chance. I'm going to give AZ. I still think there's a good chance of AZ, so I'm going to put AZ at 40%. And I'm going to put Lauren Betts at 10. I'm trying to talk myself into Lauren Betts. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll give Olivia Miles 10, Lauren Betts 20. AZ 30, Awa 40. I think Awa, like, I'm changing my mind. I think Awa's going number 1. I've had AZ Fudd going number 1. Even though I would take Awa, I predicted AZ at number 1. I actually think this is going to probably change it and push Awa to number 1. Anyway, I'll see you guys.